Well, it's always great when you hear things about a project that make you, well, smile. And recently, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio talked a little bit about the upcoming Daredevil series, its creative overhaul, and how they really set out to honor the original series. And guys, this is exactly what we wanted to hear, and nothing but great news for the show. Let's take a couple minutes to dive into what the two stars had to say, talk a little Daredevil, and why I am constantly becoming more optimistic for the series. Now, before we do that though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are in the know. Well, when Marvel Studios announced the return of Daredevil, there was a lot of hype, but since then there has been, well, some ups and downs. The show has undergone a lot of changes, and after roughly half of the first 9-episode series had been shot, Marvel Studios fired the creative team and went back to the drawing board. Now, this was a massive creative overhaul. It listed many new writers and directors, and even brought back more of the original Daredevil cast members. They also dropped a couple of actors from the cast and made some huge alterations to the original story. Now, most of this stuff went on behind the scenes, but many of us assumed that this was sort of a creative adjustment in response to, well, some major Marvel failures, and with a show like Daredevil, which was taking off from a critically acclaimed series, Marvel had a high bar, and they had to reset what they were doing. Now, recently, the two big stars of the show, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, were at Fan Expo Boston, and they really gave some interesting details in the reshaping of the series and how important the fan response was. Now, in that panel, Cox said, Marvel had been incredibly open-minded and willing to correct course, and incredibly supportive. Early on, we were trying something that was a bit different, and very quickly, they were able to identify that wasn't maybe working as well as it could have been. Where we are now, I think I can speak for both of us that we feel very happy. Now, Vincent D'Onofrio went on to explain that neither star forgot how important fans were to the Netflix series, and it seemed to them personally, and that they made sure they kept bringing them up to Marvel Studios as the whole thing got an overhaul. He said, the best thing about the situation is what Charlie just said about the bosses at Marvel, and also the fact that Charlie and I were a team. We just supported each other in everything that each other wanted, whether we were in the scene or not. Whether it featured our characters, it didn't matter. As a team, Charlie and I considered the story and the fans. Literally, I'm not shitting you. We considered you constantly and brought you up constantly. Now, this is some great news, because first and foremost, the stars of the show supporting each other to get what each one wanted, well, that's not something that happens often and really does speak to the relationship between Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. I also love the fact that we, the fans, were at the forefront. This show was incredibly popular, and for this show to come back to life, it needs that fan support. And without it, honestly, it would almost eat itself. The fact that this was a constant part of the production process is super important, and honestly guys, it only raises the bar for the show. Now, specific plot details have not been revealed, but so far we can piece together a lot via some of the set photos and other leaks. We do know Matt Murdock will be defending the White Tiger in court, the Kingpin is the mayor of New York, and the Punisher is on a rampage targeting corrupted cops who have co-opted his logo, which has, well, some real-world implications. Daredevil Born Again is set to drop on Disney Plus next March. We still don't have an official release date, but we do know it's coming our way sometime that month. I think this is going to be Marvel's biggest television series ever, at least the most important, and is definitely going to lay the complete framework for Kevin Feige's street-level heroes. Hopefully, upcoming Comic-Con gives us a peek at the new show, but we'll have to wait and see.